Good evening, Interworld. Soldier Slack here from Banana Bomb Productions. We're back in World of Warcraft on my Warrior Sesquipedal, and today I thought what we'd do, we're here at the Shrine of Two Moons, and if we come inside, there's a guy called Jinho the Windbreaker, who presumably has gas problems and farts a lot. And it's to go and speak with Trial Master Rotun at the Temple of the White Tiger, then enter the Proving Grounds, because they've added the Proving Grounds feature, which is a little thing you could do. It was added in patch 5.4 to test out how good you are at things. I'm going the wrong way. Should be going this way, but there's a bleeding mountain in the way. Yeah, to test how good you are at things. So if you're just gearing up, maybe you've got a damage character that you can also tank on, like me. You're not that confident with your tanking. It just gives you a way to practice your tanking or DPSing or healing outside of that 5-person dungeon team. Practice on your own, make sure you're up to scratch. So we're going to head over there. I'll rejoin you when we get there. Okay, so we are at the Temple of the White Tiger, which is right about there, up in the top of Kunlai Summit. I believe the guy is going to be just inside here. Yeah. He's hiding around the corner. We have Trial Master Rotun. Yeah, the 40 dude sent me. I am now queued for scenarios. Let's see what this has to offer. I mean, it's a good change. I'm glad Blizz put these kind of things in. We've got a helpful gnome lock. We've got a reforger. We've got training supplies. What do you have? Oh, you have food and Tome the Clear Mine. That's kind of useful. You've actually got all the stuff you need. So Rotun will start us. And welcome to the Proving Grounds, warrior. I am Trial Master Rotun. Here you may test your skill at performing several different combat roles, dealing damage, absorbing damage, and healing. I shall administer and judge these trials. And he smiles, a grim little smile. So let's do it. Start basic healer. Well, I've brought my bandages, so let's do it. No, we're going to do damage. Just to check it out, see what it's like.
Defeat each wave of illusions before
defeat each wave of illusions. I guess it should be in the middle here while I wait for my illusions to show up. Shouldn't be. I'm not anticipating too much of a problem, to be entirely honest. With they're not doing anything. It feels bad. I'm just standing behind the guy, ganking him. Ah, take that. So yeah, you got a bunch of different waves, and they all come at you. And, well, they don't come at you, they just kind of stand there limply. Good, so I'll pass that one. Ha! Oh, we've got some 93s.
The illusionary guardian deflects all attacks from the front. Stay behind it.
We should be behind anyway, doing damage, so it's good that they're kind of teaching people that. Which is nice. Why have I got no rage? I'm in defensive stance. That's a good start, Slack. Jeez. Freaking hell. Yeah! Actually got an execute off. Look at me with my knowing stuff. Really? There's no skip forward? I have to sit here for 16 seconds? Fine. Well, you guys are going to have to sit here with me as well. I'm not going to edit this out. So, halfway there. Still plenty of time for me to edit things out. But nope, now we're done.
Illusionary varmints come fast and are harmless. Use attacks that affect multiple opponents to kill them quickly.
Oh yeah.
Need more rage.
I'm no good at AoE. Look, I have a blade storm on you. Yeah. That's better. Everyone's dead. 30 seconds. I might actually have to edit that one out. At least you can still repair in the middle of things. That's nice. Let's sell some of my gubbins, my bags. Oh yeah, I should probably put my, like... I haven't got any gubs to sell. No gubs to sell. Luckily, we're almost there. It's really weird attacking things that aren't moving or coming at me at all. It's not pleasant, to be entirely honest. Stay behind you. Stay behind you. I thought that fire... Is that my fire? Did I leave fire on the floor? Or was that something to do with you? So, slightly lacking in AoE. It'll take me longer than some classes to get through this stuff. But I'm still getting through it. And, to be honest, I don't really have a problem with deeps. I don't have a problem with deeps at all. Tanking may be slightly interesting, and healing, I'm almost certainly going to fail the healing one because I don't have any healing abilities. So, makes sense when you think about it. Come on. Huge illusionary slayer. It's pretty tough. Wait, 5 of 5 as well. Screw it. Let's go cooldowns. Ha! Blade storm you to death. Well, maybe not to death, but I'll blade storm you. How do you like those apples? There we go. So that is bronze in the bag. Let's go. Basic damage, sliver. Let's see how that works out. Fortunately, I've all run out of rage from the last one. Come on. Blocking attacks from the front. Pretty sure I thought I was behind him. But apparently not. Some heals. For me at least. You down? Ooh, I was only going to talk like 8 seconds ago there. Maybe I will actually have to put my deep gear on after all. Come on, tab. Oh, screw tab targeting then. I wish you'd come together a little bit more. So now I can get onto these boys. Oh, I got loads of time. I can afford to kill you all one by one. One by one. Have that. Come on. Make stuff happen quicker. I yield! I never yield. Suck it, Rotun.
The illusionary Amber Weaver conjures globs of amber that float toward you and explode on any contact. Lead the amber globs into other illusions.
I'll not just kill everything with my big axe. I'm gonna go with just killing everything with my big axe. Is that cool with you, Rotun? Yeah? Ah, there is more of a time scale on it this time around. I'm still not definitely needing my cooldowns. Interrupt that. I will not have any of your stuff. Where's my... Oh, it's on cooldown. Why is it always on cooldown? Man, when I wanted to use it, it's always bleeding on cooldown. I've got the reduced cooldown as well. I can't imagine using that normally. Hey!
The illusionary mystic will heal any ally that is significantly wounded. Interrupt its healing spells.
Alright. Why don't I just kill it? Rude interruption there. Give me a bit of a boost for deeps. Oh, it's dead anyway. I was going to come back and start doing some deeps on them, but they're already dead. They already dead. 10 seconds left to go. Doing alright. There's the big guy.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't.
Oh, interrupt. I proper interrupted that, you smegger. Yeah, laying the deeps on both. Can't believe he didn't register my interrupt. So annoying. Too far away, big guy. Too far away for my liking. Me and Sesquipedal, we want none of your stuff.
It's too far away.
I wasn't expecting that, were you? Snuck right up on you. Yeah. 8 seconds to go. Would have been less as well. If I hadn't missed that first interrupt. So annoying.
I can't do that yet.
Oop. Get rid of small ads first.
I can't do that yet.
And then lag out. That's the best way to deal with these guys, because then they're just totally done. I will interrupt you with a charge stun. Hasn't affected my time too much. Good. I'm getting a bit of lag. I don't know what that is. I'm having some trouble with DHCP on Windows 7 at the moment. And it gets very annoying. But hopefully it's not that and I'm not going to lag out in the middle of the video. Because that would suck. Only 5 seconds left. Might actually have to think about using some cooldowns in this one.
I can't do that yet. I can't do that yet.
Switch targets. Switch targets. I should amber weave you actually. Shouldn't I? Oh, and it does. Oh, and then you go and heal yourself. Oh, you smegger. Right, calls. Calls. Bring the calls. Oh, I can still deeps people when they're in the stuff. That's pretty good. I didn't think I could. I thought that was like a regular. I'm stunned, but luckily I'm wearing my PvP gear, so I can extract myself. Yeah! Silver, that actually got a little bit hairy there for a moment. I thought I was going to bone it up. What else have we got? Pretty sure I just said that. Let's start baking damage gold. I've got a full rage bar. What could possibly go wrong? We'll have none of that, please. None of that at all. No, it's too soon to have another Colossus Smasher. But I mean, this is useful. I mean, this is especially useful for newer players to the game. Bit of a lag spike, which is not really helping. But I'll just press all the buttons and lagged out. Totally lagged out. That was not my fault. I mean, you guys saw. I was totally lagged out. Let's try that again, and this time, let's have less laggy illusions. It's a bit of a tongue twister. Come on. Okay, that is definitely not less laggy illusions. What the smeg? You just not playing ball today, or is this because I'm recording? Well, that's just brilliant. I kind of I already did it. I mean, look, I got the achieve, proving yourself gold damage, but I don't seem to have recorded it somehow. I seem to have done that thing where you record either side of the bleeding thing. Endless? No. I seem to have done that thing where you think you're recording and you're not, and then you press record at the end of it all, and you just record nothing. So I've pretty much done that, and that sucks. Because now it means I have to do it all again. So that's like well annoying and stuff. Because I'm really articulate and things in it. So I need to do it again. So I'll probably just not talk and then just overdub something in post about how I feel about the whole thing. And you guys can watch a 1 to 10 full run with no cuts or edits between, so you can see how it can be done. Okay guys, so as you saw in the last clip, I've managed to do this once already and get the gold, and I managed not to record it. So this is the one where I actually managed to do it and film it, and I'll kind of talk you guys through the fights. So this first one, it's nice and easy. In fact, most of the first ones are easy, so we'll talk about something else. The way the Proving Grounds works, I was hoping it was going to teach me something like about raiding. I was hoping it was going to teach me something about the stuff that I was bad at in World of Warcraft. I was hoping it was going to teach me all those things, but it didn't. It didn't even try to. So, look at me just fixing up my macros in the middle of it all. I think I was just making sure I'm taking the Blade Storm out of it. Yeah, that's how you do it, Slack. That's exactly how you do it. So you need to get on these illusionary banana tosser guys pretty damn quickly, because it will punish you if you don't. They ruin and interrupt all of your things. And we've talked about what it didn't teach me from doing this, which is what I was hoping to learn. So let's talk about what it did teach me. It taught me how to burstify my damage rather than putting smooth damage down all the time. It taught me how to pick targets. It taught me a little bit about positioning, but I kind of already knew that, to be honest. It taught me about target selection, and it taught me about maximizing my damage at appropriate times in the fight. So I charged into that guy, heroic leap back over to get onto him. You need to take down the healers first, fairly standard WoW stuff. I mean, I think that's what I was most disappointed about with this, is that it's all fairly standard WoW stuff that it teaches you. And I already know a lot of that, but I did have to do this a couple of times, including the one where I didn't record it and I actually did it. And yeah, it taught me things and I learned something, so it was good doing it. I will put together another video which was all the fails, because there's a lot of them that are pretty funny. So this one, you'll notice there at the back of the screen there is interrupt that, I think with disruptive shout. You'll notice that there is a berserker thing, the berserker rage thing, which is going to increase my damage. I'm leaving that, I'm saving it for the later fights. This is kind of what it taught me about the about dungeoning. I mean, it's a weird mix. There's a bit of raiding technique in there, and there's a bit of dungeoning technique in there, and it's mostly focused on the dungeoning technique. But then things like saving your damage boosts when they're available in the environment, and it mainly taught me about when to apply things. So when to do a Blade Storm. Like Blade Storm here, I'm hitting the 3 Guardians, and then when the Banshee spawns, I'm already doing damage. And look, she's already dead. The first guy's already dead. If I wasn't missing quite so much, then the first guy would already be dead. And then this guy would be dead before I have to switch back onto the Banshee. So prioritising targets, you've got to prioritise healers first. You've got to do the Banshee first, otherwise it'll wipe anything. I mean, in dungeons you don't really get that. You don't get stuff that if you don't kill it straight away, it's going to wipe the entire group. But that's a big part of raiding, is picking your targets and getting them down at an appropriate time. So I'm saving those berserkers for a final one. Here I'm going to heroic leap in, and then I'm going to do thunderclap, which is going to make the healers are then going to heal someone in the middle rather than each other. So it's just evening out. It's planning what you're doing and executing a plan, which is a lot of what WoW's about. That's something that the community has forgotten since it stopped being quite so much of a community. Can't heroic leap back in there like I wanted to. Yeah, you throw your heals on the little guys, I don't mind. I'll throw a thunderclap on them though. And then I'll get back onto the Mystic. So There's less of a community in WoW now than there used to be for reasons I've talked about in my other videos, and it's mainly to do with the cross-server stuff. When I first started playing WoW, you had to pull people in from your own server to be able to do things. To get a group together and go to dungeons, you had to pull a group off your own server. Now, not so much. So here you've got to prioritise the banana tosser, but as soon as you start doing damage to him, the healer over there, that mystic, is going to want to come and heal him. Using charge interrupts, and I managed to get lucky with that. And then Blade Storm to lay some AoE down on everything. I haven't done any of the casted DPS ones of these, but I understand from watching other people's videos that they are slightly different. But I don't have a DPS casted character yet. I suppose my Balanced Druid, but I don't really play Balanced Druid much. I'm mainly Resto Druid. So, it's tactics. A lot of this is tactics. It's prioritising targets, and it's putting the damage in the right place at the right time, which we'll see later on. Oh, we'll actually see it in the next wave. So I've now got 2 of those Zerka buffs up, and I'm going to use, I think it's Cools on the first, Zerka on the second, and then Cools and Zerka on the third, which is wave 10. So in wave 8, you've got one of those big, massive, fake illusionary Shah dudes. And they're a pain to take down. It's a classic DPS race, which again, it's more of a raiding thing that you'll have a classic DPS race, rather than a dungeoning thing. But, you know, whatevs. I learned something. It was worth me doing this over and over and over again. And I had to do it so many times. I had disconnections on the first day that I did it. You'll notice in this instance, I'm actually wearing my PvE gear, which is around eye level 499. So if you're wondering what eye level I was when I did this, it's around 499. I've got a few good pieces from the Isle of the Timeless Isle, but I've not really done any. I think I've got 1 piece of raid finder gear in it. So there, Blade Storm in with my cooldowns. That gives me enough damage to finish that guy off before he puts his protective shield down. That leaves me with 2 Zerka rages left. I'm going to use one of the Zerka buffs. Again, prioritise targets, get the banana tosser down first, interrupt the mystic. I don't even have to switch off doing damage because I can use disruptive shout to interrupt that, and I can still be doing damage to the banana tosser. Banana tosser, it's such a funny name. Get the mystic down, and then the white shield that's surrounding the illusionary Shah, that'll drop off at some point, which means that I can do lots more damage. You've got to get your interrupts down, you've got to prioritise the banshees, otherwise it all goes pear-shaped very quickly. I failed about 3 or 4 times at this, not including my interrupts. I had to come back and do this the next day because of my internet connection interruptions, which sucks. So there, the shield's dropped, straight onto that Zerka Rage. Get in, but stay away from those cooldowns. I'm doing it here without using my cooldowns. I use them on wave 7, so they've got time, wave 8, sorry, so they've got time to recharge during wave 9. And as you can see there, no cooldowns used, managed to get them down fine. So that means when it comes to wave 10, I can use both cooldowns and the Zerka Rage in order to get that big illusionary guy down. So let's quickly talk about what I learned, because wave 10 is fairly simple. As we start wave 10 here, illusionary Slayer and the big dude. Get the Slayer down ASAP, and then get onto the big dude and start doing some wheelie damage to him. You will have a couple of banshees to deal with, which is what I'm going to talk about next. I had my Blade Storm macroed into all my cooldowns. All my damage cooldowns, and then Blade Storm was my macro. And that's effective 9 times out of 10. For PvP, that's exactly what you want, because you want as much of your cooldowns left as possible once you've done that Blade Storm. But here, it doesn't work. I'm going to single target this first Banshee down, but the second Banshee comes right in my window of doing damage to the illusionary Shah. So illusionary Shah, get on the Zerka Rage, pop the cooldowns, and do as much damage as possible. So you can see there, he's bleeding from Bloodbath. Just get as much deeps done as you can on here. But I was Blade Storming right at the front, and that was ruining me because I was having to switch off and single target that Banshee. Here, on the successful runs, I'm actually Blade Storming him, and that means that I've done enough damage that the guy is down, which is good because I failed a couple of times on this, and you've spent like 10-15 minutes getting to this stage, and then you have to do it all again. So yeah, freaking die everybody. No achieve pops up because I did that on a previous run and didn't record it somehow because I'm a dumbass. So what did I learn? I learned prioritising targets, which you kind of already knew. I learned positioning. I learned not standing in the fire, which is important. And I learned that not everything is best to pop all at the same time. Sometimes it's better to pop some things, and sometimes it's better to pop others. Look at that. Drippy is right on my face. Get off my face, Drippy. Naughty Willy. So, there we go, guys. That's the proving grounds. That's how it goes. That's what I learned from doing it and 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 doing it again. So this is Sergeant Slack from Banana Productions saying thanks very much for joining me for this. The proving grounds damage all the way through it. It's bronze to gold. Please do comment, like, subscribe if you did. Tell me what you learned by doing this, if anything, apart from not to do it. And I'll catch you next time. Ta-ra.